Almost a century later, a forgotten ledger surfaces in Charleston. 47 families, one man, and a secret the world almost never saw. Charleston, South Carolina, 1851. A ledger sits in the city archives. Cracked leather, faded inked, names carefully written. 47 families, all vanished. No death records, no census, no trace. The ledger is more than a book. It is a record of mysteries the city prefers to forget. A ship arrives at the port, the Prosperity, fresh from Baltimore. Its sails are furled, timber creaks, seagulls circle above. Among the passengers is Thomas Garrett, dark hair, touches of silver, calm, observant eyes, clothes of fine quality, but not flashy, a quiet wealth, a silent presence. Garrett's past is unknown. His wealth appears overnight. His manners are polite, almost charming, yet he reveals nothing about where he comes from. Charleston notices him. The St. Cecilia Society invites him to gatherings. Questions about family are met with deflection. "I prefer to build a future, not dwell on the past," he says. "Wouldn't you agree?" The city is intrigued, suspicious, fascinated. Within months, Garrett buys a townhouse on Trad Street. Cash, up front. No one knows why he picked this house. People whisper, "Who is this man? Where did he come from?" Then the first family appears under his care. Ryan's auction house. A father, mother, 2 children. Garrett bids, quietly, pays more than anyone else. No one questions why. The family leaves Charleston, safe, hidden, protected. Garrett repeats this over the next months. Families disappear from the ledgers, yet they are not lost, not sold, not enslaved. His actions puzzled the city's elite. Lawrence Fitzgerald, a local trader, notices the pattern. Why does he buy them and not sell them, he wonders. Something strange is happening here. Garrett's properties are scattered, isolated, invisible. Children recite lessons at night. No guards, no locks. The city's whispers grow. A man of means, a mysterious past. Families vanish quietly. Charleston holds its breath, and the ledger keeps waiting, recording names that no one can trace.
November 1851. Ryan's auction house. High ceilings, dusty air, sawdust underfoot. Merchants, planters, speculators. They murmur, they jostle. Families appear. Lot numbers called. Lot 72. William, 35, strong field hand. Mary, 29, domestic worker. 2 daughters, Clara, 7, Eliza, 9. The auctioneer, Robert Chen, booms his words. "Who will bid?" Bids start low, rise steadily. Garrett sits quietly at the back. His hand lifts. $1,800, he says. Heads turn. He is known for property, not labor. The auction slows. Another bid. Garrett matches it, then exceeds. $2,000, he declares. Chen lowers the gavel. Sold. Garrett approaches, calm, precise. Garrett handles the paperwork carefully, pays in crisp banknotes, signs the bill of sale with a flourish. Then a peculiar request. "I want a Bible included with their belongings." Chen blinks. "A Bible?" "Yes," Garrett says. It is important they have one. The family leaves Charleston the next morning, private wagon, supplied with tools, provisions, and hope. No records afterward, no sales, no labor, no return. They vanish from public life. Garrett repeats the process. Months later, another family. Again, paid well, private transport. Again, carefully preserved dignity. Patterns emerge. He buys complete families, tracks down separated members, pays premium prices, reunites them. The city whispers. Lawyers, merchants, traders notice oddities. Lawrence Fitzgerald begins to track Garrett. He never sells, Fitzgerald mutters. He never hires them out, never profits. Why? Garrett's properties are isolated. Colleton County, Berkeley, hillside retreat, secluded, difficult to reach. No one from town ever visits. Observers report strange routines. Children recite lessons at night. Adults tend small gardens. No cotton, no tobacco, minimal labor. Yet the families are safe, fed, educated, protected. Garrett's method is meticulous, his network unseen. Supplies delivered by riverside haulage, books, tools, food, and Bibles, always addressed discreetly. Even Fitzgerald cannot fully understand. The man is not of this world, he whispers, and yet he acts with humanity unseen in Charleston. The first purchase sets the tone. It is methodical, compassionate, dangerous, a quiet rebellion against the rules of commerce, against the cruelty of the system. The ledger in Charleston waits, recording names that should have disappeared forever.
Early 1852. Charleston streets hum with commerce. Families vanish quietly. No rumors reach the port. Garrett moves with precision. Purchases rise in frequency. Each family chosen carefully. No one overlaps. No records leaked. Lawrence Fitzgerald watches from shadowed windows. Notes in his ledger. Patterns form, but remain unclear. Garrett's properties stretch beyond city limits. Berkeley, Colleton County, hillside retreat. Remote, hidden, difficult to access. From the road, nothing appears unusual. Inside, order prevails. Gardens flourish. Children learn. Adults work quietly. No cotton fields. No overseers, no exploitation. Supply deliveries arrive, disguised as standard goods, food, tools, clothing, books, Bibles. Each family is integrated gently. Neighbors seldom notice. Workers blend in naturally. Fitzgerald grows obsessed. He traces movements, asks questions, but Garrett remains elusive, invisible in plain sight. Whispers circulate in Charleston. The man is strange. Why does he pay more than anyone else? Why does he keep families together? Garrett never explains. He works in silence. His method is deliberate. His network is growing. By mid-1852, several families are safe, all maintained with dignity, all kept out of public record. No one profits, no one suffers. The ledger waits silently, recording names that might have disappeared forever.
Patrick Hughes arrives, a wiry former overseer, skilled at moving unseen, blending into the shadows of the woods. He sets up near Colleton County Farm, a small worn telescope his only companion. 2 weeks of patient observation begin. At first, nothing seems unusual. Children play quietly in the yard. Adults tend small vegetable gardens. Chickens wander, pigs root, dogs nap. A normal rural scene, or so it appears. Hughes notices subtle patterns. Work is deliberate but light. Cabins are well kept. Tools stored neatly after each use. Nothing rushed, nothing chaotic. Evenings bring surprises. Lanterns glow in cabins late into the night. Hughes notes the warm lamplight past midnight. Sometimes voices rise in song. Sometimes it's soft recitation like a schoolroom lesson. Children reading aloud. Adults whispering over papers. It is quiet, but purposeful. Hughes begins charting movements. No overseers, no guards, no ropes. Everyone moves freely. No one appears coerced. Every action seems voluntary. Hughes records everything meticulously. The children are learning letters, he writes. Adults discuss matters calmly. No loud commands, no shouting, no punishment. Fitzgerald receives Hughes's reports. He reads each line carefully. His brow furrows with unease. This is unlike any operation I have seen, he mutters. Something is hidden here, something extraordinary. Hughes expands his surveillance. He visits Berkeley County and the farm near the hills. Patterns repeat. Cabins clean, gardens tended, chickens and pigs roam. Evening lamplight glows late. One night, Hughes glimpses a makeshift schoolhouse. Children gathered around small tables, heads bent over books, eyes bright with curiosity. He notes, education, illegal for the enslaved, yet here it thrives. Fitzgerald begins connecting dots. Garrett's purchases, isolated farms, the meticulous care of families, even the timing of supply deliveries. It all points to deliberate planning. Books arrive regularly. Bibles, primers, works of history, literature, all addressed to anonymous post offices near his properties, a network of knowledge and instruction hidden from the world. Hughes observes subtle interactions. Adults speak quietly to children, teach them reading and numbers. Parents reunited with long-lost relatives, sometimes months after being separated by sales. Garrett ensures families are whole again. Fitzgerald feels a chill. This is no eccentric whim. This is a purpose, a philosophy in action. Garrett treats people as more than property, as souls deserving care, learning, and freedom. Hughes notices even the smallest details. Cabins arranged in clusters, gardens placed for ease, not labor efficiency, meals shared communally, tools stored safely, nothing forced, nothing harsh. Late one evening, Hughes spies Garrett himself, arrives quietly in his modest carriage, carries only supplies, grain, tools, crates of books, walks calmly among families, no shouting, no orders, speaks softly with children, elders, and adults alike, encouragement, not commands. Hughes observes for hours. Garrett leaves as quietly as he came. No one followed, no one constrained. It is unlike any plantation operation Hughes has ever witnessed. Fitzgerald reads Hughes's detailed notes. Children reciting late at night, adults tending gardens calmly, books arriving in secrecy, families reunited after years apart, a moral design hidden in plain sight. He wonders, is Garrett working alone, or does he have a network, a hidden group of collaborators? Supplies always delivered carefully, handled by the same independent company, Riverside Holage. Silas Croft, taciturn owner, nervous when asked. Hughes notices subtle fear in Croft. Something is protected, something they cannot speak of openly. Fitzgerald pieces it together slowly. The ledger, the pattern of purchases, the silent, orderly farms, education, freedom, family reunions. the purpose becomes clearer. Garrett is not buying labor to exploit. He is buying freedom. Freedom hidden from a society built on oppression. Hughes's final observation shocks him even. One night, he sees children lighting candles, singing softly in harmony, adults reading aloud beside them, Garrett moving quietly among them. No doors locked, no chains, a sanctuary hidden in plain sight. Fitzgerald feels it too, a profound mystery, a quiet rebellion, a carefully orchestrated mission to protect, teach, and set free. Hughes packs up. He leaves without a sound. Fitzgerald ponders the reports late into the night. This is extraordinary, impossible to prosecute, impossible to expose, and yet it is real. The ledger exists somewhere, recording names that vanish from public record. Families disappear, yet live on in secrecy. Fitzgerald wonders, who is Garrett really? A savior? A genius? Or something else entirely? Silence dominates Charleston's outskirts, but behind it a quiet revolution brews, a network of hope, hidden in shadows, guided by a man who sees people as they could be, not as society decrees.
Garrett arrives at the Charleston ballroom. Candlelight flickers against polished wood. Gentlemen bow, ladies curtsy. He moves calmly through the crowd, eyes sharp, listening, observing. Conversations hum, talk of politics, trade, gossip. Garrett nods politely, but his mind is elsewhere. He watches carefully, every word, every gesture, every glance. Dinner is served, golden plates, silver cutlery. The aroma of roasted meats and spiced vegetables fills the air. Gentle laughter, the clinking of glasses. Garrett joins the elite Charleston tables, voices polite yet shallow. Talks of wealth, status, and appearances dominate. A question arises. Do you not believe that the poor have their place? A whispered moral jab at society's complacency. Garrett responds softly, perhaps they do. Or perhaps the place they deserve is simply unknown to you. Heads turn, eyes narrow, the table shifts uncomfortably. He speaks subtly, planting seeds, stories of missing families, of invisible labor, of children learning quietly, away from the eyes of society. A gasp ripples. A social scandal hangs in the air. Yet Garrett smiles faintly, polite, unassuming, dangerous in restraint. If you are still watching and haven't liked, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And tell me, what would you do if you discovered someone secretly changing the world? Comment below. Dinner continues. Garrett listens, smiles, and nods. Every remark a calculation, every compliment a strategy. He understands social power. He knows society's moral blindness, and he exploits it quietly. Later, he moves to the charity bazaar. Tables lined with ribbons, baked goods, and trinkets. Wealthy patrons chatter and bid. Sheriff Thorne is present, observing, suspicious. Garrett approaches, carrying crates. He offers donations discreetly. Books, supplies, small gifts, all items carrying hidden purpose. Thorne questions the origin. Garrett smiles lightly. Just trying to help, Sheriff, nothing more. Yet Garrett knows every step Thorne takes, every question asked, every suspicion forming. He anticipates moves before they happen. Charity is his camouflage, a veil over a mission far beyond social appearances. He speaks to the crowd gently, encourages education, mentions the value of kindness, seeds of conscience planted, without scandal, without accusation. Guests leave impressed. some inspired, some puzzled, none suspecting the depth of Garrett's hidden work. Outside, the city hums. Night air carries whispers of mystery. Thorne watches Garrett depart, his instincts prickling. Something different here, something Garrett conceals. Garrett returns to his carriage, supplies packed, crates hidden, families receiving care without the city ever knowing. The social facade fades, the quiet, secret work continues. Books delivered, children educated, adults reunited. Garrett's network grows, invisible, powerful, impenetrable. Thorne wonders, uneasy. How does he do it? Who is he protecting? And what is his ultimate goal? Every social event, every dinner, every bazaar, a stage for influence, a cloak for action. Garrett moves seamlessly. Society applauds, oblivious to the truth beneath the manners and etiquette. And the ledger, the missing names, the vanished families, all threads in a web no one else can see. Hughes and Fitzgerald's observations deepen. Every move of Garrett's in society mirrors his hidden mission. The contrast is staggering. Public charm, private revolution. The candlelight dims. Charleston sleeps, unaware of the quiet storm reshaping its outskirts. Garrett smiles faintly as he exits. A man admired, envied, misunderstood. A master of both social grace and secret charity. Fitzgerald walks slowly through the Charleston streets, his notebook in hand, eyes sharp. Every shadow, every alleyway seems alive. He pauses at Garrett's properties, windows shuttered, lawns meticulously kept, but something lingers beyond sight. Inside, Garrett moves quietly. Rooms filled with books, papers, small supplies, crates labeled carefully, every delivery precise, every book chosen with purpose. Garrett opens a ledger, rows of names, dates, and notes, families, children, histories, some vanished from public record, now preserved here. He traces a finger over the pages, each line a story, a secret preserved, a life reclaimed. Outside, Fitzgerald observes, notes scribbled quickly. He senses a rhythm, a pattern hidden beneath ordinary appearances. Garrett distributes resources quietly. Children receive books, supplies for education arrive discreetly. He visits in the dark hours, when eyes are elsewhere. No fanfare, no applause. A teacher smiles faintly as Garrett departs. Children already gathered around a small table. They read, they write, they learn. The ledger tracks progress. Who is learning? Who needs more help? Who must remain unseen? Garrett's network stretches further than the city knows. Neighbors unaware, workers loyal, messages sent with code hidden in plain sight. Fitzgerald grows more intrigued. Every visit reveals more. Every observation sparks more questions. He notices children singing lessons, hands raised in study, laughter mixed with concentration, the kind of learning impossible in public schools. Garrett's vision is clear. Education is freedom, not just literacy, but knowledge, skill, confidence. Crates arrive again, each carefully labeled. Books, paper, writing tools, even small gifts. Every item serves dual purpose, a tool for learning, a shield for secrecy. In town, whispers circulate. Who is Garrett helping? Why does he never boast? Why do so many families seem to vanish from records, only to reappear under his care? Fitzgerald begins connecting the dots. Ledger, books, discreet gifts. hidden schools on properties, secret networks of care. Garrett walks among the city quietly, polite greetings, small gestures, every step calculated, every interaction purposeful. Even Sheriff Thorne cannot piece it together. The web of secrecy is seamless, invisible, yet powerful. One evening, Fitzgerald shadows Garrett. He sees a family receiving supplies at midnight, children peering out of windows, eyes wide, a sense of wonder, a sense of hope. Fitzgerald writes rapidly. They are learning, they are hidden, and yet they thrive. The ledger grows, pages filled with names, notes, progress, each line a story of reclaimed dignity. Garrett's hands move over the pages, every detail exact, every family accounted for. Outside, the city sleeps, the streets quiet, unaware of the quiet revolution on its edges. Fitzgerald begins to understand. This is not simply charity, not merely generosity. It is strategy, vision, freedom, hidden in plain sight. And still, questions remain. Who else knows? How far does this network reach? What is Garrett's ultimate goal? Each night, Garrett returns to his properties. He reviews the ledger, plans the next delivery, checks the children's progress. Networks expand quietly, invisible threads connecting families, children, helpers, a community built without drawing attention. The ledger is more than a book. It is a map, a blueprint of liberation, a record of unseen heroes. Fitzgerald closes his notebook slowly, the air heavy with realization. Garrett is more than he seems, a mystery that defies expectation. And somewhere, hidden in the shadows, the ledger waits for those patient enough to uncover its secrets.
Sheriff Thorne paces slowly, notebook in hand, frustration visible in every line on his face. He reviews reports. Families vanished from records. No witnesses, no clear trail. Thorne shakes his head. Something doesn't add up. Every lead dries up, every informant hesitant. Meanwhile, Garrett moves through Charleston. Polite greetings at every corner, eyes alert, steps measured. He hosts dinners, attends church services, visits local markets. Each action ordinary, yet every move calculated. Lawrence Fitzgerald watches quietly. He shadows Garrett, notes scribbled in haste. He begins to see the invisible threads. Garrett's properties are clean, no laborers visible, no signs of forced work. Everything appears calm. Yet Fitzgerald notices patterns, deliveries at odd hours, children emerging briefly, silent signals between neighbors. A web is forming, invisible, hidden beneath polite smiles and orderly gardens. Thorne grows impatient. He confronts townsfolk, questions asked sharply, yet fear or loyalty shuts mouths. Garrett anticipates this. He visits the same areas subtly, offers small favors, gains trust quietly. Every interaction serves dual purpose, maintains public calm, secures private networks. Fitzgerald notices the duality. Garrett is a master of appearances, the surface calm, the hidden storm beneath. At night, Fitzgerald reviews his notes. He hesitates. Each discovery reveals Garrett's brilliance, but also the moral dilemma. If Garrett is helping families, educating children, preserving lives, is this wrong? Yet these actions defy law and societal norms. Fitzgerald struggles. Every observation challenges his beliefs. Sheriff Thorne grows desperate.
He orders patrols around Garrett's properties, checks deliveries, interrogates neighbors. Yet Garrett's network remains intact. Small deliveries vanish before being intercepted. Messages reach intended hands. Children remain unseen in the shadows. The net tightens, but Garrett moves ahead, always a step beyond discovery. Fitzgerald confronts Garrett privately, questions carefully chosen. Garrett listens patiently, answers measured. "I only preserve what the world overlooks: knowledge, freedom, safety. No one else will act," Garrett says softly. Fitzgerald's moral conflict deepens. Law says one thing, conscience whispers another. Sheriff Thorne grows more suspicious. Social appearances become his focus. He attends Garrett's public events, looks for inconsistencies. But Garrett smiles, every gesture precise, every word disarming, neighbors unaware. Even in public, Garrett's network thrives. Invisible signals, silent coordination, every child, every family accounted for. Fitzgerald observes the rural properties, fields untouched by suspicion, workers loyal but discreet, schools hidden in plain sight, lessons taught quietly, books delivered carefully. Patterns emerge, a rhythm to Garrett's work, a method to the secrecy. Thorne grows increasingly frustrated. Nothing breaks Garrett's calm facade. Every attempt to expose him fails. Fitzgerald writes, "The law cannot always measure justice, nor can fear dictate morality. Garrett walks a line few understand, and perhaps that is the only way forward." Garrett closes a ledger late one night, checks names, records progress, plans next deliveries. Outside, the town sleeps, unaware of the silent revolution taking shape. The net seems ready to close, yet Garrett is always ahead, invisible threads stretching far beyond what any detective sees. And Fitzgerald realizes, sometimes the most powerful networks are the ones built in shadows. Charleston wakes slowly. Mist hangs over the river. Docks creak in the morning chill. Garrett is gone. No announcement, no farewell, just silence. His properties stand empty, doors closed, windows shuttered, gardens untouched. Families are missing. No trace, no records of departure, no letters, no farewells. Neighbors whisper quietly. Rumors swirl like smoke. Some claim they saw carriages leaving at night. Others swear the families simply vanished. Fitzgerald arrives at the first property, steps careful on gravel paths. The house is still. Echoes of life linger faintly. Books on shelves, toys in corners, signs of daily routine frozen in time. He enters Garrett's office. The ledger is there, closed, dust settling on the leather cover. He opens it. Names, dates, deliveries, progress, every detail meticulously recorded. But final entries are blank, or perhaps erased. He walks the grounds. No sounds but the wind, no children's laughter, no laborers moving, just shadows stretching across empty fields. He flips through letters tucked in corners, instructions for families, hints of safe routes, hints of new beginnings, yet all vague, all secret. A knot forms in Fitzgerald's stomach. The reality settles in. The network Garrett built has vanished with him. The town is silent. People feel the absence. They do not understand, yet somehow life continues. Fitzgerald ponders the ledger. He reads and rereads each page, each entry a clue, each line a question. Where did they go? Did they find safety, freedom, a new life beyond Charleston? Even Garrett's closest associates are gone. No trace of meetings, no whispers left behind, all meticulously planned. Fitzgerald walks to the edge of the river, fog curling over dark waters. He imagines carriages slipping through mists, families hidden, children safe, lives reborn elsewhere. A sense of awe overtakes him. This was not disappearance, it was liberation, invisible yet complete. He closes the ledger gently. Dust rises with the motion. The final page is empty, or perhaps full of possibility. Charleston carries on. People glance at the abandoned houses, the empty fields. They ask questions, no answers. And somewhere beyond the city, families start anew, free from watchful eyes, from oppression, from the past. Garrett's secret network disappears into legend, silent, untraceable, perfectly executed. Fitzgerald writes in his notebook, "Some histories cannot be captured, some freedoms cannot be documented, and some men change the world quietly, leaving only shadows behind." He closes his notebook, steps away from the empty property. A breeze lifts a page from the ledger. It flutters briefly. Then stillness returns. The vanishing is complete, and Charleston never forgets, though it does not know.
Charleston is a city of whispers, streets worn by time, cobblestones echoing decades of footsteps. Dorothy Hayes steps into an old estate. Dust rises in shafts of sunlight. The air smells of aged wood and forgotten stories. She moves carefully, as if disturbing the air might disturb history itself. Every room tells a story. Objects forgotten, tucked away, waiting for someone to remember them. And there, on a high shelf, she finds it. A leather-bound ledger. Worn edges, pages yellowed. Yet its presence feels deliberate, commanding. She opens it slowly. Page by page, she reads. Names, dates, transactions, movements. 47 families. Every detail meticulously recorded, every life accounted for. And yet, the final chapters hold a silence, blank spaces, as if the ledger itself refuses to reveal everything. Some pages carefully erased, some left intentionally incomplete, a mystery deliberately preserved. Dorothy's hands tremble slightly. This is not just a record, it is a testament, a map of courage, a blueprint for freedom. She imagines Garrett, Thomas Garrett, walking Charleston streets unnoticed, observing quietly, changing lives without recognition, a man invisible in plain sight, yet powerful in effect. She pictures the families, leaving silently in the night, children learning in hidden rooms, women tending gardens behind closed gates, fathers disappearing into safe havens, lives reborn. The ledger becomes a window, a bridge across decades. Dorothy traces names, cross-references old census records, newspapers, orphan records, small clues scattered across the city. And yet, the ledger cannot answer everything. The final destinations of the families remain a mystery. Some historians call the story legend, others dismiss it entirely.
But Dorothy knows. Truth hides in plain sight. Sometimes it speaks softly. Sometimes only in shadows. She walks Charleston streets after leaving the estate, past houses, docks, markets, past the river that carried so many dreams. She imagines children laughing quietly in secret classrooms, women teaching arts, skills, reading by candlelight, lives once trapped, now freed. She wonders, did they prosper? Did they ever return? Did they ever tell anyone what happened? Or did the ledger carry the only memory of their passage? Some nights, Dorothy dreams of Garrett, not as a man, but as an idea, an ideal of courage, morality in action, heroism in silence. The ledger closes gently in her hands. She can almost hear the faint whisper of paper settling. Sunlight glints off the worn leather. The story lingers, incomplete, yet powerful. Charleston continues to grow. New generations walk the streets unaware that hidden lives once thrived here, unaware that freedom was carved out in silence. Yet the ledger remains, a whisper, a memory, a challenge to anyone willing to see. Some histories are never fully revealed. Some heroes never ask for recognition. And some courage echoes through time, silent yet eternal. Garrett's gift was not in wealth, not in fame. It was in action, in protecting those who had no voice, in giving hope where none existed, in leaving the world better, quietly. Dorothy closes the ledger. A pause, a shiver. She understands. The story is not just about Garrett. It is about all of us, about what we do when no one is watching, about courage, morality, legacy. If this story moved you, hit like. It helps others discover these hidden truths. Subscribe so you won't miss the next journey into forgotten history. And share this with someone who loves mysteries and courage in silence. Now, I want to hear from you. If you found a ledger like this, what would you do with it? Who would you help? Comment below. Let's uncover these stories together. Some stories hide for a reason. Some heroes never ask for recognition. But the truth always finds a way to be remembered.